on, we can take him.
It's a long way.
Trust me.
What?
I cannot jump the distance, you have to trust me. Don't tell the elf.
Not a word.
Groovy. Hello. Welcome to another edition of the Knife Party Podcast, where we leave it all on the cutting room floor. I am, of course, your illustrious host, Zach Evergreen. And dealing with his alcoholism, I just stole a beer from my guest today, Antonious Montana.
How could you? That's ridiculous.
Well, I had to be on the air first. And plus, you're closer to you were in the safest. Okay, I did totally steal a beer from you. Give you a spit on the next one. Yes, and you are listening to the Knife Party Podcast, where we leave it all on the cutting room floor. I'm your illustrious host, Zach Evergreen, here with Antonious Montana. Today we are talking Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers. And before that, I need to pay some bills, so shit like this. Patreon.com/KnifePartyPod is where you go to support us. It's only $5 to join the channel. Not only do you get this show, but you also get other entertainment shit like Slimek Radio X, which is our Twitter channel where we go through my feed and talk news and stuff, and it's funny. There's a lot of poop jokes and not a lot of politics anymore, which is awesome.
That's good.
Also, we have Midnight Ramen, where we're actually going to be talking about we're going to be reviewing the new D2 ladder with the whole holiday system. It's going to be very good. I'm going to tell you my Necromancer build is awesome. That's also on there. And also you get Knife Party After Dark. It's where the mics are hot, but the lights are off, and we are usually in some wacky tobacco and a few brews in us, and we're just talking shop, and it's fun times. It's an after show, if you will. It's actually my favorite show on the channel, so you get all this shit free. You get other stuff free, too. And all ad-free. It's only $5 a month. Also, you could stop the bike for $20 a month and join the same club. You get all the same benefits, but of course, you get quarterly merchandise when operable. Right now, we are inoperable, but we'll probably be inoperable in spring. Or a personal gift if we are inoperable, which we are now. You also get to be on the show. This is how Nikki Neo became a member.
Yeah.
On the show, a regular, if you will, a non-paid regular, a payer regular, but yes.
It's like an internship.
It's like an internship, but you get to request shows, and you got to bring the funny, and that $20 is an obligation of you to be entertaining. So it's kind of cool. It's like a self-investment, if you will.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're also by Caps and Cork. Caps and Cork are probably first three sponsors. Caps and Cork is a delicious beer shop on the borderlands of Vallejo, California and American Canyon. If you need some craft brew, you go to Caps and Cork. Also, they have my favorite table wine, which is called Godfather. Runs about $22.50, and they have a 2017 Zinfandel that will blow your socks off. It's very jammy, earthy. It'll throw you against the wall like you owe it money. It's awesome. And today we are talking about Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers. We will get canceled from YouTube from playing this music, but fuck it. We're kind of done with them anyway, aren't we?
I guess, yeah.
So let me bump this music down. So, we talked about actually what we were going to do on this episode. Like, are we going to do fun facts? Are there going to be a bunch of... But I did realize this. I think this movie's 20 years old, and everyone that got in touch with this movie probably got in touch with it when it was released on DVD in the early 2000s. I think every household had at least one of the three movies. At least.
Guaranteed. And honestly, it was most likely this movie that people had.
Two Towers. So originally, now check out my physical media knowledge here. Check it out. Fellowship came in a green DVD box.
Yep.
Do you remember that?
Yep.
Two Towers came in a bronze one.
Was it bronze? I thought it was more red.
It was bronze. It was ready bronze.
Yeah.
That's why I didn't say gold.
It was bread.
And that, yeah, exactly. And I think the Return of the King came in a blue one.
It was like blue and silver.
Yeah,
I
blue and
think.
silver. Yeah. So yeah, I remember that. And I remember that was like one of the. I loved it when companies did that. Whether it be back in the day with the original Legend of Zelda on Nintendo, it came in a gold cartridge. I remember that kind of started that trend. No one else did it. I remember there was a copy of Jaws someone had on VHS, and it was a blue tape, and then the top, where the tape flap was white, and it looked just like the cover.
Okay.
And then like the writing was red, and it was perfect. It's like when people put detail into physical media, this is why I always scream about how awesome physical media is.
It's like when you get the vinyl back in the day that was a different color.
Yes.
Or, all had the laser streaks.
My
through
vinyl,
it,
I made gold and black on purpose because it was like
awesome.
I was like, look, I'm only going to make 250 of these.
Yeah.
It's probably the only musical project I'm ever going to put out in vinyl, and it was and is. I go, I'm at least going to dump the extra like $800 to make it cool and unique and collectible.
Yeah.
It's like, why make? What like I want to make shiny Charizards, as they say. I don't know what that means. I'm not a Pokemon guy like necessarily, but you know what I mean. Like that's like. People go out and they spend tons of money on Pokemon cards that are shiny or gold or whatever. And I'm like, oh, I want a gold record.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Oh, dude, this music is fucking amazing. Anyway, let's get back to this movie. So we haven't really even started. But yeah, anyway, on physical media, they had really cool covers and really cool like box designs. I remember seeing all these in theater. You did too?
I did see them in theater.
The theater.
That midnight showing, baby.
Dude, I didn't see a midnight showing, but I will tell you a cool story about... No, I'm going to save it for Return of the King. Remind me of the Return of the King seeing in theater story, all right?
Okay.
Just remind me of it. You'll remember
definitely
it.
Be able to do that.
You will. You'll remember it. You'll remember it. So, anyway, I remember going to see this, and I was with Victoria at the time.
Okay.
And we were drinking at do you know Vallejo a little bit or not really?
Very little.
Very little. Okay, so there is Sherwood Forest, aka Hans Park.
Okay.
Which is right off Adam Carolla Lane in Vallejo.
Yeah.
And it's like a good 3-mile walk there and back, but there's tons of like little weird spots to go smoke pot or whatever you want.
Right.
There's like a lot of like hidden parts.
It was like almost like it was built that way on purpose.
Like I've done sexy stuff there. So anyway, as an adult, by the way. But anyway, it's right across from Adam Carolla Lane, which attaches it to the Century Theater. Mm-hmm. And the Century Theater used to be attached to a World Market. Remember World Market?
Wow, yeah.
So back in the 2000s, World Market had this great beer selection. So I used to love this one called Delirium. It's in a white bottle, and it has a purple elephant, and it's like 9%. And it comes in a, like a champagne cork kind of thing. And I remember drinking 2 of those and like basically telling my girlfriend at the time to like jog on because I was going to go see Lord of the Rings with Josh and Ian, who I was in a band with at the time. We were in Vana.
Yeah.
We had an awesome song later on called Hemophiliac's Aphrodisiac. However, it was a ripoff exactly of Hold On Loosely by 38 Special.
Oh, no.
I think I might be able to look it up. I don't know. That could be in the episode.
Yeah, it could be
maybe,
the end.
Maybe it could be the end. Just remind me, and I'll look it up because I think I can, and I could play the Hold On Loosely right before you go. Look at the similarities of this asshole. But I remember going to see this, and I was a little tipsy, and I remember seeing the first one and loving it so much. But this one like really hit a new nerve because I thought this is where filmmaking was at its epic like point of when you came to like, because the 90s was full, and I mean full of epics. You had, just to name a few, you had Saving Private Ryan, The Patriot, you had fucking Braveheart, you had you had all these epic awesome movies that came out in that era that were epic war movies, and this one came out just after the 2000s and just destroyed it. Like the Helm's Deep battle just said, nope.
One of the greatest of all time.
This is, and then later on, there was some good ones like that came afterward. Like such comes to mind as Last Samurai was okay. It was pretty good.
Great.
It was great,
It was
but
awesome.
But the battles compared to this are night and day. And I mean, figuratively, actually, and I don't want to say literally. I really don't. Because it's not written down, but it's on film. It's on celluloid. Oh, drink.
Celluloid.
I said celluloid.
Celluloid. We're drinking now?
It's one of the drink rules. Is when I say the word celluloid, you have to drink.
Oh, you said it again. That's 2 drinks.
No, you can just drink once. We trust you. All right, so I blabbed on a little bit. Tell me about your first experiences with this movie in theater or on DVD or what do you have any? I have another story about watching this on DVD, but first let's go into you watching this in the theater.
Oh, no, it's freaking awesome. Yeah, it's midnight showings, big group of friends and everything. Everybody's being super loud and rowdy, and like it was just a big hangout party. It was awesome. And I'm sure you know, midnight showings is kind of a toss-up, whether it's like a good crowd and you have a lot of fun together, or it's like the extra nerdy crowd that wants everybody to be dead silent.
Ooh, wait a minute. Hold on. Stop the mic a little bit. Let's go over some of our midnight showings. So you saw this midnight showing.
Yeah, I saw all 3 midnight showings.
You saw, wow,
Yeah.
really? Did you know I saw the Phantom Menace Star Wars?
Midnight?
And I know, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that weird? I saw the first ever screening. It wasn't midnight, but it was the first ever screening of Dark City.
Oh,
in Vallejo.
that'd be cool.
And I think it was like, it was weird. It was like a weird showing. It was like it was 8 p.m. like on a Friday.
Oh.
And it was like but this was back in 98.
Yeah.
I want to say. I did see The Crow with James O'Barr. That's pretty cool. Not for showing,
Yeah.
but pretty cool. And I got kicked out of the Ring midnight showing because we were all drinking soda and vodka. And we were drunk as fuck. And we were like 19.
Yeah. Oh, Jesus. Okay.
And we were drunk. I'm like, this Mountain Dew is delicious. I think I said that, and that's what got us thrown out.
A movie is trash, though, so it's all right.
What other movies did you see midnight?
Yeah, like Star Wars, the freaking prequels or whatever, Dark Knight. Yeah, there's been a number of them. I was on a midnight showing kick for a while there.
Dude, I have some bucket lists of things I want to see. I want to see either Sleepaway Camp or Friday 13th Part 2 at a park in a camping site with like the wood chairs. Because I've actually went to those theaters before. I saw Man with One Red Shoe. I saw The Good Son, believe it or not. I don't know why they were showing it.
Yeah.
And I saw Heavyweights.
Heavyweights.
Yeah.
So awesome.
Yeah, we covered that.
Yeah.
That was good.
Yeah.
It was good times. The Perkins, dude. Tony Perkins fucking rules. And then I want to see Jaws in the Inner Tube show.
Yeah, that seems pretty fun.
And then especially when they actually have extras that will like tug on your...
Oh my God. No extras for me, please.
I think it's kind of cool. And then, but the other one too is the Mummy in the round.
In the round.
Yeah, you know where Bill Burr just did his last special and stuff. It looks like an Aztec round.
Oh,
it looks like a desert. Like it looks.
Yeah.
Well, they show the Mummy there.
That's sick.
And then the other one is Return of the Living Dead, and there's a graveyard where they show it all the time.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Return of the Living Dead, like the rock and roll one.
Right.
And some people like run out and like do the dance and stuff, like when she's on the grave and shit.
Oh,
yeah.
Do they do it like she does it?
I hope, dude. One could hope. One could only hope.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, right. Okay, so fuck. All right, so. The writing this is a lot different than number one, so we were talking outside a little bit. I think number one, Fellowship, follows the books probably the most closely, and this one kind of takes the most civil liberties with the script.
I mean, the first one, it's almost page for page.
Really?
The book.
Have you read them all?
Yeah.
Yeah, including Silmarillion and all that stuff, or no?
No, I haven't read that. I just read The Lord of the Rings and then The Hobbit.
Okay, I read The Hobbit and I read Fellowship, and that's it.
Okay.
But, I mean, I was kind of like I actually like The Hobbit better.
It was kind of weird because
it read easier. It read easier.
It reads way freaking easier. Yeah, but The Hobbit is made to be a kid's book.
But to today's standards, that's like 11th grade reading.
I know. That's because we've gotten a lot dumber.
Yeah, the vocabulary in that book is like for.
I'm like, I read it in third grade and it seemed fine, but I know, people today probably have a hard time.
I was dyslexic. I read this in 9th grade and it read easy, but I could tell if I read this in 8th grade, it would be a little difficult. I was very dyslexic.
Okay.
So it took a teacher to show me how to put a ruler to a book, and that's how I have to read.
Yeah, okay.
You know, some people, I'm that way. I have to do that. And then she showed me, too, that you put, like, a filter, like a red... Anyway, regardless. So, in the book, we'll do a little book first movie, I guess, right now. I wanted Jeff to be here because he knows so much about the books and everything else. But we'll just do our best. So, Shelob apparently is in the book. And she's not in this one. She's in the next one. Shelob is the spider.
Yeah.
So, correct me if I'm wrong. Is Shelob actually in the book, but not in the movie? I know she's not in the movie.
Well, no, isn't that's the spider where he holds up the light?
Yeah, it's not in this one.
I always thought that was this one.
No,
right?
he goes,
it's like the ending of this one.
To her.
Yeah.
Yes, precious,
that's right. It's the start of the last one.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's just really how they cut it for the movie's sake.
But in the book, though, Shelob is actually in the Two Towers.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Another thing is, so here's some things I don't know. The whole meats back on the menu, boys, and all that stuff. Was that
awesome?
Was that actually in the book?
No, I don't think so.
Because there is a similar scene in The Hobbit where you have the trolls, and you actually see the trolls frozen in stone in the Fellowship.
Right.
But in this movie, there's a whole discussion where the orcs are going to, they can't kill the hobbits, but can they chop off their legs and eat their little legs and roast them and stuff?
Yeah.
And there's a whole thing about this. Well, this was actually in The Hobbit at a different way, and that is those trolls that are frozen in stone were deciding how to cook the hobbits, and they were actually saying the same recipes.
Oh, weird. I totally don't remember that, to be honest. Yeah.
That's a part that in The Hobbit just stuck out to me.
Okay.
Because, as a writer of, fantasy, I don't mean I'm a fucking fantasy writer and get paid millions of dollars. I'm just saying, when me and my friends in their 40s are drunk and want to play Dungeons and Dragons once every 2 months, right? I'll always, write in trolls that are evil and do shit like that.
Yeah,
because,
you kind of have to.
Because that's what makes trolls cool. The villain doesn't actually have to be powerful. They just have to be emotionally powerful. And if something's going to eat you and is planning on doing so and you're in a cage, that is a very frightening...
extremely frightening.
You just healed up that character a bunch of points. Because, man's greatest fear is being eaten alive. That's actually a human being's greatest fear if you judge it. I know people go, oh, no, it's public speaking. No,
I definitely wouldn't say public speaking.
It's primordially, it is being eaten alive.
Being eaten alive would probably be one of the worst things. I guess it'd be fine if it was, super fast. And
it's not fast.
Died instantly. But if you're talking about, things taking pieces out of me bit by bit, I don't want to be alive.
Dude, bears, big cats, and also humans that go crazy and shit.
Yeah.
And even chimps and shit, all carnivores, and chimps aren't carnivores. Yeah, they are. They fucking eat other fucking animals. Gorillas are vegetarians, but chimps are carnivores. Anyway, they'll eat you alive because they want to keep you alive because you taste better. That's terrifying.
Well, yeah, because once you die, the meat starts to spoil.
But then there's weird animals that bury it, like foxes, and they like it better later. Anyway,
weird. Yeah.
Weird.
Anyways.
So this movie kind of is unique in the fact that where it starts off, our heroes have failed.
Basically.
They even said
everything fell apart.
They say the Fellowship of Men is over, and they're like, the ring's fucked. We don't know where the ring is. We can't do anything.
Yeah.
But you know what we can do? We could kind of track the orcs. Maybe we'll find something, and that's when they find the horse riders.
Yeah.
Dude,
the Rohan.
The Rohan are my favorite out of all the armies, I think.
Yeah, same.
Same? Their
yeah.
helmets are so cool.
Well, they're basically kind of the Vikings of the freaking world.
But they're different in the fact that they have like lances and horses.
Yeah.
That makes them kind of unique. They're kind of like weird, kind of like
They're definitely like plains folk sort of thing.
it's kind of like if you were to take like a Highlander and a Viking and mix them together.
Right.
But with like really cool Centurion style armor. And anyway, all the humans in this like outshine all the other characters. So the dude that plays, actually, I have the fucking cast and crew here. Let me look it up.
Yeah.
With our new internet, should go fast. Okay, let's see. Oh wow, there's a lot of fucking people in this movie. Let's see.
You just looked up cast and crew, and it's like 480 people.
Right. Ooh. Who the fuck is it? I'm trying to look.
What character?
You know the main horse rider guy with the blonde hair and with the sister?
Fuck, yeah, what is his name? He should be towards the top, honestly. He's
One would think.
Freaking character.
No, it's just because there's so many goddamn riders and stuff. But anyway,
yeah, right? The Grant, isn't that him?
Where?
No, back one. Isn't that him?
Brad Dourif?
Yeah. Who do you play?
No, that's Screamer Wormtongue.
Oh,
I was about to get to
the
him.
advisor.
So Brad Dourif is also, you know who else he plays? He's also in Alien Resurrection. He's the scientist, and he's also Chucky.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
he's a phenomenal character actor. He's been in just countless
By the
things.
way, I have a story. Okay. So when we're fucking watching this movie, Greamer Wormtongue comes on fucking screen, and Josh the show killer goes, "Hey Zach, it's you!" and points at me, and everyone in the theater went, whoop, and he said, by the way, this is Vallejo, so it's mainly a black theater. So yelling out is fine, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, everyone looks to go, oh, that. Dude, I had a standing ovation. I'm like, God damn it.
Yeah.
So apparently I look like Greamer Wormtongue at the time. That's a true story.
Yeah.
That happened.
I believe it.
You should. As you should. I
feel like he's aged it a little better, but
whatever. Don't be gay. Anyway. So anyway, the Horse Lords, they're really cool. So anyway, they're getting the Fallen Brotherhood. So now we just have an Alpha Dwarf and a human, right?
Yeah.
An Alpha Dwarf and a Ranger. And they're making their way, and they're like, well, we already lost, but why quit now? We're already here, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And when they run these guys, they find out about like, oh, the Riders of Rohan, cool. Mm-hmm. And he's like, well, it's you're not really welcome there. We're not even welcome there. It sucks there. And he's like, oh, well, I'm going to figure shit out.
So I'm going anyways.
So they go in, and we find that the king is under possession. And then we see Greamer Wormtongue. How did you feel about the effects in with the possession thing? Because they are a little dated.
Well, yeah, they're definitely dated. It is a little weird, but at the time, it looked really freaking good, and it was very cool how the perception they gave you, like he's this withering old man and yada yada.
Yeah. And his heel up was cool too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm with you on that. Another thing is Greamer Wormtongue, they made him look really cool. They made him look like necromancer as fuck, where he was just
like the long broken nail, like bleh. Yeah, that shit was great.
Yeah, they made him look like a lich. I love it. Also, I think the sets in this movie, it's hard to say better than number one, meaning Fellowship, because Fellowship, The Hobbit, the set itself looks so awesome. Like, you just want to live there.
Like the Shire.
Yeah. The Shire with the Hobbit houses is what I meant. The Hobbit houses.
That's because they actually built them.
I know.
Yeah, that's really cool.
However, in this movie, the sets are grand, like more grandiose.
Right.
Do they look a little bit more fake? They look practical, but some of the outside effects don't shine with it so much. Yeah. However, they are very forgivable.
Very, very forgivable.
I think the only ones that kind of actually bothered me at a certain point was the rock and stone part. We'll get to that.
Okay.
With Treebeard.
Yeah. Okay.
I think that part probably held up the least. But I mean,
yeah, the CGI, it was really good for the time, but it's very noticeable now.
so speaking of CGI on this, remember in Fellowship of the Ring, one of probably the coolest part, and it still holds up today, is the fire effect on when you see Balrog.
Yeah.
However, a certain thing that we don't talk about a lot, but it's a lot of people's favorite scene, it's my favorite scene in the first one, was they have a cave troll.
Okay.
They took the idea of they have a cave troll and made a whole hour sequence in this movie. Helm's Deep is they have a cave troll on steroids.
Yes.
So let's get to that CGI, because in Helm's Deep, first off, it's filmed in that same blue filter.
Right.
I call it the Diablo filter, because it looks like you're playing Diablo. Like it has a Blizzard game type feel to it. You know, Blizzard games have like a very bright blueness to them, whether it be StarCraft, Warcraft, Diablo, whatever.
Yeah.
The blue is always shining, whether it be the town portal or your mana or whatever. There's always blue glowing in those fucking games. It reminds me of that. Secondary, the CGI is kind of half, it looks like half claymation, half CGI.
For the cave troll, for sure.
Yeah. Now, when we fast forward to this movie, we have a extra long battle involving trolls and orcs and goblins and such. They use the same screen effect. They had a rain effect that really helps blur the bad CGI.
Yeah.
The rain effect
was fantastic.
And first off, too, when they're waiting in battle and it's quiet and you can hear them marching and it's quiet, and then you hear the tink, 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 tink of the rain just hitting their armor right before. Dude, that is a cinema masterpiece moment right there. That is a WrestleMania moment, if you know what I mean. Like the tink, tink, tink on the armor from the rain.
Just that hype, the suspense building.
And them blowing out steam.
Yeah.
Dude, that foreplay, that's like Undertaker coming out to a match. Like his slow walk and the look and the lighting and everything.
Right.
When the army is marching on them and they're fearless and they're like soulless and just like devoid of emotion, and you hear that rain click, you're like, fuck yeah.
I know it's coming.
But also, too, the arrangement of monsters that actually do attack Helm's Deep, that is all almost CGI. All almost. I mean, the orcs running in, there was orc on human combat, like you could tell, and that was with Weta Workshops. Weta was the guys that did all the weapons and stuff.
Right.
Fun fact, I actually bought a weapon from them. I bought a longsword.
Okay.
From Weta, and it's what you call spring steel, so you could actually grab it and bend it like this.
Right.
Now, it's still sharp. But because
no, it's more like
it goes
fencing a rapier.
It's got a lot of but you could still sharpen it though.
Yeah.
If you go boom, but the good thing is you could bend it so it doesn't. The idea is it doesn't break.
Yeah.
You can actually use it as a defense weapon, and they actually really did use blades. Like this was not Guar with paper mache armor and rubber swords. This was actually.
Metal on metal.
Metal on metal. In fact, I saw the Weta guys when they were doing the craziest thing and the little details, like things in this movie that I really love, is all the orc armor, all the chainmail, those were hand done, like every ring.
That's crazy. Because there were so many of them.
I think there was, I think the final number, there was like 460 extra orcs. And and all had unique appendages, facial and costume, and they'd switch them around once in a while, like so you wouldn't kind of recognize them, but you know they're all very advanced,
right?
You know, they didn't fuck around, because you know what they could have did? They could have did like, and I'm not saying 300 sucks, but they could have did where they have like, you know, they made like 12 people and they copy those 12 and move them around so you don't notice the pattern.
Yeah.
Or, you know, like in a sports video game where you'll see like there's patches of people that are just repeated.
Right.
Yeah.
I used to love looking for that, like racing games, as you're passing by the stands, see how many times you can find the same person.
Exactly. God, that was totally a Gran Turismo thing to do.
Yeah.
Yes, it was. Gran Turismo 3?
I think it started at 2.
Oh, you started 2?
Yeah.
Oh, on the PS1.
Yeah.
Oh, good for you. All right, anyway, back to this movie. So, the one character... Okay, so one thing about this movie that I am going to say that I'm not saying I'm a huge fan of, but it is kind of like cheesy is, and I know it's in the book, but the Gandalf the White part.
Yeah.
And it's not that Gandalf the White sucks, not take anything away from that, but the fact that Aragorn at the same time has a false finish death, and they both have their Jesus moment. It's like,
yeah, okay.
Pick one Jesus, not two. You don't need to have everyone come back as Jesus. However, Aragorn's comeback makes Gandalf the White seem like a pussy because Gandalf the White comes in, yes.
He comes in like a baller, bro.
And he goes, yes, I was called that once. Gandalf the Grey. No, I'm Gandalf the White. But then Aragorn comes in, and it's like the scene from The Crow where he just pushes open the two doors in slow motion. You see rain and thunder and shit, and you're like, holy shit. Like, it is the scene from The Crow.
It is 100%. Like, when I first saw that, I was like, oh, they stole that from The Crow.
Yeah.
Like, okay,
Thank you.
I honestly
Thank you.
have to knock a point for that. I do.
Thank you. No, you know what? I actually give it a point for that, but I know what you mean. So our points will negate each other. But no, you were very right. That is
like the slumped head,
yes,
fucking everything,
and the shoulders, and just the movement of the shoulders, like it's a breaststroke movement, and then the head pops up after it. You know, that is one. In fact, I'll bet you that there is probably a video about that.
Like a side by side.
I bet you there is. Let's actually take a look.
That'd be kind of.
This is what we do on the show here, guys.
That's true.
I don't know. Hey, fuck it. If like Rogan can do it, why can't we?
Find that clip, Jimmy. Find the clip.
Crow versus
Aragorn.
Two Towers. Let's see if it comes up.
Door opening.
Well, I think it would just the Crow versus Two Towers door. If I type that in, if it doesn't, Aragorn opens the door. Okay, no. Lord of the Rings. Aragorn opens the door. Okay, all right. Here we go.
Isn't that like a side by side?
Here we go. All right, so there's that. Now let's see Crow door.
Crow door. That was a cat.
Oh, sorry.
What are you even doing?
I'm doing my best. Damn
There's
it.
a lot more door videos popping up than I thought there would be.
I know,
Oh,
right?
no. Oh, the way that's Aragorn again. My bad.
It's Aragorn, yeah. All right, well, you fucking know it. He fucking opens the door. Nevermore.
I feel like the Crow one was better.
Crow one's definitely better.
It's slow. It's slower motion. It's more dramatic.
Speaking of better and better and better, so we did. If memory serves correct, we gave Fellowship a 93. What would you give this?
I'd probably say like a 95, maybe 96, actually.
You know what I was thinking?
What?
It got a 95 on Rotten Tomatoes. It also got a 95 for the popcorn meter.
Wow.
I gotta give it a 96.
Yeah.
I'll tell you why.
Because fuck those guys.
If you were to make Helm's Deep, just Helm's Deep, it would get 100%.
The rest of the movie brings it down.
No, I'm just saying. I'm just saying Helm's Deep itself is so fucking entertaining.
Yeah.
That like, I really think that if one day if I was bummed out, I could just sit down and roll a joint and just watch the Helm's Deep scene, and I think I'd probably like be like cool with the day.
Would you like want to watch it like kind of split up, like those sections cut out, and it's just the Helm's Deep parts? Yeah. That would actually be hella fun.
I'm just saying, like, you know, I'm not saying that what I am. Sorry, I'm on the radio. I should be know what I'm saying. Do you know what I am saying? What? God damn it! What I'm implying is that the Helm's Deep scene is so fucking epic and awesome.
Right.
It is.
I don't want it to end.
Put together so well. It would be very interesting to see start to finish just the Helm's Deep scenes. Yeah. From when, not even the whole horse rider stuff, but just when Wormtongue gets kicked out till the end of it.
Yeah.
Like, their preparation is important to it, too. But the second it turns from that blue and black camera is when it's like, oh, man, this movie's off to the races.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of fun. And I mean by fun, there's a lot of comic relief here. You got Gimli and Legolas, and they're trading their, like, kill hits.
Yeah.
And you get a great
scene. Kill count going on.
You get a great scene where Gimli's trying on the chainmail, and it's just too damn long for him.
That part was so funny.
And you got this really cool sad part where Enya plays, and like you see all these little kids getting swords and armor, and it doesn't fit them.
Yeah.
And then Gimli cuts to him, and it makes it funny. There's the preparation scene too, where they have to switch to Elvish to talk about how they're going to lose so bad.
Yeah.
And then Aragorn switches back to Common and goes, "And I shall die amongst them." And you're like, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, this movie had... How fucking cool was Aragorn in this movie, though?
I mean, he solidified, like, being a badass. 100%.
Really, I think that if you were to look at the template that is the Wolverine movies, a lot of it is stolen from the Aragorn character. A little bit.
Interesting. Kind of. I mean, that, like, loner, like...
Loner badass does the right thing no matter what, even though it hates doing it. Yeah. The chaotic neutral character, or chaotic good character, I guess.
Chaotic good, yeah.
So like a Robin Hood, but less jolly and more haunted.
Ooh, that's a good description. Yeah.
Hey, you know what? That's
like
why
that.
we get paid the big bucks. So, yeah, no.
For only $5.
Exactly. $5 at a time, man. Hey, man, someone's got to pay for these meatballs.
Yeah.
Other cool moments. I love this movie also always makes me hungry because I love seeing them cook potatoes and everything else. And even though, like, you know that food is bland as shit, it's still like, it still entices hunger.
It's weird because it makes you, I don't know, I guess kind of think about the food because, you know, like something as simple as potatoes, you get that one that is like more sweet, you know? So you got to think like, I wonder if every time they cook them, they're hoping to be the guy that gets that sweeter potato. You know?
Or like, you know, when you have a certain cooked potato and it's at the exact right, because I'm a very texture guy. You know when you get a baked potato and it's perfect texture?
Yeah.
And it's got the perfect salt butter amount on it. It's like there's nothing better, and
it makes me very happy.
Yeah,
really
or
does.
you know, like grilled potatoes when you bite into them, they're a little too hot, and you go. That's good times.
A little bit too early.
See, this is why I'm a big fan of stews and like roasts. Is I like putting
you're a very liquid meat combination person.
I am.
Soups and ramens and stews.
But the thing I like about stews and roasts is you throw potatoes in it and it becomes like like at that point, right? It's like a fucking Thanksgiving nightmare of delicious.
Oh yeah.
You know, I've actually taken a Yankee pot roast and then put it in the refrigerator, and the refrigerator can shield the fat, right? So it became like kind of liquidy, and I'm like, this is perfect. So then I would fucking take mashed potatoes and just throw on top and throw it in the fucking toaster oven, and it came out this is like delicious blob of animal fat and potato.
Oh my god, that sounds terrible and delicious.
And then I throw cheddar cheese on the top just to fucking seal it home, and that shoulder chuck was fall off the bone to
yeah, okay.
Good times. Back to the movie. So
the
food in the movie does look really good.
Yeah.
And there's even a great line, salted pork. You, like, remember at the very end when they finally kind of catch their break?
Yeah.
One thing that takes points away from this movie, and that's the other battle, and that's the Rock and Stone battle with Treebeard, and etc. This is the part of the movie I could absolutely, if you were to cut this movie out, like cut that part out. I know it makes sense for later on, but Pippin and Merry, I really don't give a shit about them.
I mean, I thought it was cool. I just felt like it took too long getting there.
Yeah.
And like by the time it was happening, it was weird because I'm already more invested in Helm's Deep.
It would have been better if it would have had them meeting the treants, getting picked up, and then them convening, and then at a surprise ending, them attacking at the last minute, rather than seeing them argue, then going back, then doing the march.
Part, it definitely took away from it.
If it would have been cool if Sauron was going to do something really awesome, and then all of a sudden, or Saruman, or whatever his name is, if he was going to do something evil, and then all of a sudden the rocks started hitting, and they would have smashed cut to, oh, surprise, remember that?
Yeah.
So that's what you call in a movie a setup. They had a setup, and instead they over-explained the setup.
Yeah.
It's kind of like I'm going to take it back to pro wrestling again. Good people in pro wrestling that were bad guys that would cheat quick, and you would notice. Like, think about Ric Flair with the brass knuckles real quick, and puts them back.
Yeah,
or someone that takes out like a blade or whatever and gets somebody and then puts it back, right?
Yeah, right.
Or somebody that uses a chain or whatnot, or a chair, and then you drop it,
and then he tosses it out the ring. Yeah,
when you overdraw it out, it makes it so there's no factor. It's just like, okay, are you going to do it or are you going to not? And then the anticipation is so much there when the betrayal or the attack happens. You're like, well, yeah, we knew it was coming.
We figured it was going to happen.
We saw you grinding the character up to this point.
Yeah.
It would have been cooler if you just would have did no montage and just a show up. Hey, here's the rock and stone part. Here's where the treants throw like their boulders and drowned out.
We didn't need to see the council at all. Like that, we could have seen them maybe we need to talk. They do a split.
It would be cool if they said we need to talk, and then it would just cut.
Yeah,
and then later on we see them throwing rocks.
Yeah,
and we would have been in our heads oh, okay,
it worked.
Okay,
they were able to get them to do it.
And it would have been cool if you saw the amount of them, because there was 24 or whatever.
Right, there's a whole bunch. Yeah.
There's a whole bunch, but in the council you only see 7.
Yeah.
So it would have been smarter just to cut to it anyway. So you're with me on this one.
100%. Yeah, they could have cut. It would have saved. Was that 5-10 minutes or whatever?
No, longer than that.
Was it?
I think all the Treebeard stuff. That's a good 30-40 minutes of the movie.
See, way too long.
Because remember, that starts off where they start trying to stomp on him, and he goes, "Little oxes," and then he grabs them, and he's like, "I got you, little oxes." They're like, "We're hobbits," and he goes, "No, that's for the council to decide." And then he goes, "I have these oxes," and then. Cut. We decided you're not oxes. Okay, why are you here? Oh, we're here to save our friends of the Shire. We must think about that. Cut.
Yeah.
Oh, they're burning down the forest.
Right.
Oh, you should do something about it. Well, we must decide. Cut. It's
it's taking way too long.
See, I've seen this movie this many times where I remember, because I'm like, oh, we're at this part again.
Yeah.
And the shitty thing is, the way the DVD is made, it doesn't cut to the next scene. It cuts to midway through that scene in the next scene.
Oh, that
which
sucks.
I really fucking hate.
Yeah.
Let's put it this way. If you're going to cut... I don't think it's as bad as other movies, though.
Right.
Some of them are bad. Some of them are really bad.
Which ones?
I remember Repo Man being confusing if you were pressing it, because if you know the movie, you should be able to do it.
Yeah.
I think Aliens is a little confusing because Aliens is very long.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you're cutting, you're just going to the blue and Ripley's face and what's going on. And
which time is it this scene pops up?
That's what I mean by confusing.
Yeah.
I know the Fight Club one's a little confusing.
Okay.
But this is where it drops you off of. But some movies are really easy to follow, though. I mean, if you fucking watch Killer Clowns from Outer Space, it's one of the it's on their DVD menu is impossibly easy. I think this one is actually not bad though. No, you know what the bad one is? No, actually I take that back. It's Return of the King has the worst. Because Return of the King has all the false finishes.
Longest?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's 3.5 hours. This one is 2 hours and 59 minutes, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
I think.
Somewhere around there.
Yeah.
But yeah, Return of the King, ridiculously long. And I feel like they kind of did some of that too, where there's just scenes that this didn't need to be in here.
I think this movie also has some pretty cool gore factor, though.
Ooh, okay.
There's a lot of really cool beheadings and headshots, but it's not humans. In the first one, I think we see the most gore versus humans in the first one, and in the last one, that's all CG army. You can't really pinpoint it. But
well, especially once the Ghost Army comes in.
In this movie, I'm not really a fan of that. I mean,
Right.
I like the scene, but it's that's what I call a scenic convenience. We'll talk about that when we get to it, but I do not like scenes of convenience. That's definitely like, hey, we need to wrap up 30 pages in 30 seconds.
Yeah. No, it was cool on this one though, the Helm's Deep, where they had the more like outward angle, like the more aerial shots.
Yeah.
Going wide. And then they would like take it in close to like Gimli, like the crew fighting one-on-one, and then back up high, and then back in close.
Yeah,
and it like kept that perspective of like the whole battle, but you still felt like really vested in it.
No, I'm totally with that. I'm with you too. Whereas, okay, here's some. Oh, dig! I just thought of this. This is actually kind of trippy. This movie and the first movie have a very, very, very good way of kind of showing you whose eye view is it.
Yeah.
Because in a lot of movies, we kind of know whose eye view it is, right?
Mm-hmm.
This movie is very kind of like the Eye of Sauron. Maybe that's us watching. Did you ever think about that?
No, not at all.
Dude, I'm going to actually watch the last one with that in mind.
Okay.
Like, you are the Eye of Sauron. This is what we're seeing.
Right.
Because in a way, we kind of are. We are seeing what happens with Bilbo and the ring when he, Frodo with the ring. We're seeing a lot of, like, everything that's going on, right? Mm-hmm. And it's not mainly Aragorn. It's not mainly Gimli. It's not mainly, like... They actually divide the time in this movie with the three parties, because there is three parties.
Mm-hmm.
We have the Ring Party,
Okay.
we have the Broken Fellowship Party, and then we have the other hobbits.
Okay.
With the Treants. So we have those three stories. Now they give the Treant story probably the least amount, around 45 minutes, 40 minutes, right? They give the Sam Golem and Frodo story. They probably give that a good 40 minutes, and then the rest hour and 20 minutes they probably give to Helm's Deep.
Yeah,
but
that's definitely the biggest part.
But Helm's Deep is also a combination of we get to see Gandalf again, there's reunions, blah, 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 blah. Pacing wise, I think it's really good. But no, I do agree with you. Another thing I love about this is that it's not just actually I just thought of two movies that actually beat this on Epic. And I was thinking about this.
Okay.
We haven't done a Ridley Scott film in a while, but I was thinking there's two Ridley Scott movies I got to do, and I'm going to do them in order. And that's going to be Black Hawk Down and Kingdom of Heaven.
Oh, okay.
Both those. Kingdom of Heaven is a fucking amazing war movie. I think that might beat this. Seriously?
Yeah, I don't know.
The final battles of that movie are good.
Those are like based on a true story versus like pure fantasy.
But it's all about the Bible, and this movie's about the Bible.
No, this movie's about a ring. Thank you.
This movie is because England had no like religion or like Norse mythology kind of shit.
Yeah.
So Tolkien invented one. Now Tolkien was a super racist, by the way. So he based all the dwarves off Jews. That's why they love gold, have big noses, and dig long, and they have like big beards and shit. And then the elves are also based off of Jews, but Germanic Jews. I'm not even kidding.
That's weird.
Germanic Jews.
So he's just like, very anti-Semitic.
Yeah, and he's like, the elves are better than you, and blah 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 blah. So they're based.
They live forever. They are better than you. Just deal with it.
Well, dwarves are the coolest, though.
Dwarves are the coolest.
Dwarves,
I agree,
dude. If you're gonna like be a D&D character, play a human and hang out with dwarves, or play a dwarf. Because you're going to drink the most booze, you have the highest constitution, meaning you'll probably live the longest. You have little legs, so if you run into a battle late, it's not your bad, man. It's everyone else relay Jenkins, and you were trying to keep the fucking wall going. It's like, hey, man, that's on you, man. They're like,
right.
You know, we should think as a unit, asshole. And dwarves are cool. But anyway, in real life too, you know it. Let's put ourselves in the Tolkien era, or Pathfinder, or D&D, or whatever, Elder Scrolls, whatnot, right? Elder Scrolls a little bit different because it's weird because you have like Khajiit, because I think Khajiit would be the coolest to hang out with, to eat with, because they'd have a lot of fish.
Okay.
Like you'd eat like a lot of fresh, just tuna and shit like that, and then you do some skooma afterward. You know, it's all good. Argonians are weird because they eat raw meat, which would actually be kind of cool because you could just like, let me just get
that would
my
be.
little
I feel like that
hibachi.
would be like sushi, you know.
Yeah, but you could get your little hibachi and just like, you know, Nords, obviously, you know, a lot of milk, a lot of cheese, you know, Imperials, they eat everything. Why did I bring this up? Oh yeah, because dwarves do not exist in that game, but they do exist in Lord of the Rings, and they also do exist in D&D and everything else.
Right.
Dwarves love. Did you know dwarves have such a good diet that in lore of not only like of every fantasy shit, trolls love dwarf legs are the best food in the world because of their diet is so good it translates to their meat.
That's weird.
Because dwarves love like really expensive wine and salted pork. They're just like, so they're just marinated and delicious. I'm kosher and I still would probably eat a dwarf leg. If it's as good as they say, you know, you have it on like a bagel, with like a little capers, like thinly sliced dwarf leg.
Oh, I'm not huge on capers.
Okay. Whoa, you don't like capers?
Yeah.
Dude, what's the deal?
I guess I'm just weird.
Did something happen when you were a child?
I just never really liked the flavor.
Did Michael Jackson put capers in your pee hole with his tongue?
Ooh. If only.
All right.
Take away the asparagus smell.
Of the capers
did
your...
I just break you?
I was like, of the capers or of your pee hole? How does your pee hole smell like? Okay, moving on. So we're a couple of questions. First off, so we did a watch along of the first one. I thought it was a lot of fun. I liked reviewing this one a little bit better, especially that we're kind of going off the cuff. We have no notes in front of us. We've just seen this movie a million times. Like, I don't mean a million times, but I guarantee I've seen this movie, if not around 70 times.
Okay. It's probably been about 30 times for me.
I mean, in my whole lifetime.
Yeah. Well, same, yeah.
Because back in the day...
Only 70?
Holy shit.
Hey, hello.
That's
Who's there?
Nick Neo in the house.
Nicky!
Whenever I would watch this movie, though, so this is back in the day where I would like play Baldur's Gate or Diablo 2 or whatever on my computer, and I just have like Lord of the Rings playing, and I'd be second screening it. I invented second screening, dude.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Because actually, I had my computer, and it had a monitor, and then I had another monitor there, and I'd always be playing a movie.
Yeah.
And it'd usually be like one of the Lord of the Rings movie or Matrix or whatever, because this was back in like 2002, 2001.
Yeah.
It's about that era. So I'd just be doing like, you know, whatever. Nikki, what's going on? We just went over the gambit of what is Two Towers, Lord of the Rings. What do you have to add? So we already talked about
Very, very nice.
the three parts where it's like, you know, the halflings and the treants. You have Sam and the Golem with Frodo, and then you have the Helm's Deep battle and everything in between. What are your favorite of the stories? Any cool moments we might have missed? Any fun facts that we don't know? What do you got on this? Because we're about to wrap it up and go to After Dark. But we wanted to see if you could add something, and you jumped in at perfectly the right moment.
Hey, I'm good. I don't know about anything, you know, that's not probably already been said, but one of my favorite scenes is Gimli telling Aragorn not to tell the elf.
Oh, you know it's funny? You know it's funny? You're going to love this.
That is quite awesome.
Guess what we opened up the show with? Don't tell the elf. Yeah, that is a cool...
I'll give you a hint. It was that scene.
Another great Gimli scene is like when everyone's looking over and like they're looking at the armies approaching and they're like, fuck, we're fucked.
Yeah.
And then Gimli is jumping up and down. He goes, I can't see. I love that
Would
scene.
you like to get you a box?
Yeah. By the way, out of the whole Lord of the Rings series, I think Gimli is probably the lamest out of all, because the ones in The Hobbit are way more devastating. Like the main Hobbit.
Yeah, I feel like they did that on purpose.
Oh, to make him more strong.
Right.
But Gimli, is supposed to be like the master dwarf.
Yeah.
Like he's supposed to be like one of the best dwarf warriors out there.
Right.
But they kind of make him like maybe it's kind of like in pro wrestling where you get so awesome you just become like funny and it's okay. Like you're John Cena, you can just make fun of yourself
Like
and
he
people.
does something dumb, but he doesn't get hurt. You know.
No, he does.
Like he's so great. Like even if he epic fails, it still doesn't really do anything to him.
No, he just falls down and goes, whoa. And he's fine. And he gets right back up. You know what? So, fuck. Nikki, let's ask you this. This is the ongoing argument right now. Who opened a double church or battery door better? The Crow or Aragorn?
Aragorn.
Oh, must
That
be
is
those hormones
incorrect,
kicking
sir.
in. That is
Only because of the gravity of the situation.
I just want him. Oh no, sorry. Let me do a little impression for you. Caw, bang, fuck, I'm dead.
That
That was pretty good.
was good.
Thank you. That was my Michael Wincott.
Yeah. I mean, the gravity of the situation was much higher stakes for Aragorn.
Aragorn, you son of a bitch.
Who is it again?
Ayrton?
Ayrton?
No.
Alrighty then.
Alrighty then. Okay, if you were to... Okay, so we were talking about if we could change this movie, and I said, let's take out more the Ent and Mary and Perry, like, parts with the hobbits. Pippin and Mary, whatever the fucking name is. Fucking fag and shag.
Mary and Mippin.
Whatever, Muppet and Duppet, whatever. Get the fucking shorten that part of the movie. But also, I think what this movie really lacked was some like good old fashioned. It had some gore, but it was like Sam Raimi gore, where a head would go spinning in the air, and it's like, oh, that's cool. But this needed some hack and slash, like because. There's so much hack and slash. I wish that it would have been a little bit more Braveheart-ish.
Yeah,
or,
but then it would have been R instead of PG-13.
What's this movie could have done? No, they could have argued it was fantasy violence against orcs.
Right.
You can't. They could have argued that.
But I think it's once you start getting blood thrown around because they're really like
Dude,
heads get cut off. But there's really no blood.
That's how Evil Dead was able to get away with it. They go, "Hey, these are all demons.
Right.
They're not humans.
Right.
And their blood is like black." if you have an orc or whatever and they're bleeding black and like green or whatever, it doesn't count. It's like you stabbing something and it squirts blue all over you. It doesn't count. That's actually how Gwar was allowed to get away with a lot of shit. But anyway, oh shit. So I'm going to sit back for the show because we're going to judge it. I'm giving it. I do hate the treants part. But Helm's Deep is so goddamn good. Mm-hmm. We missed out on playing Pathfinder. We were actually supposed to play last week, and this was the next best thing. And it's a good time. I never... You know what? I cannot be mad at this movie. I can't give it more than this, though. I want to give it a 96, but I have to solidly give it a 95. I'm gonna agree with everybody else.
I'm going 96.
All right.
I'm sticking to it. What are you giving it, Nikki?
I'm giving it a 92 because the treants and Merry and Pippin just really drag it down.
Thank you. Thank you, Nikki. That's exact. This whole episode before you came on is I said that was a 45-minute thing. They could have made a 15-minute thing, and it would have made the movie so much better. So much better. And we could have gotten a little bit more of
Helm's Deep.
I'm not going to say Helm's Deep, but the preparation for Helm's Deep. Because in the long version, the preparation for Helm's Deep is a lot cooler.
Right.
There's a lot of there's like a whole day of planning. Mm-hmm. And it's a cool scene, and I think you see Aragorn get his armor, and you see him actually like pray, and then you see like Ladderline and all this other shit.
And I would prefer to see that setup than the Ent setup, because
the whole thing is, I mean, they could have named this movie "The Battle of Helm's Deep," and they could have went. They've actually you know what? They actually could have and should have probably made the movies and done it like this. Even though the first one's called Fellowship, it's basically going to be the story of the Dark Riders. Story second, the plot of Helm's Deep. And then part 3 is the rest. Yeah. And then the ending should have been its own thing. Like, it should have actually roll credits, because most of that ending stuff wasn't even in the book anyway.
Yeah.
You know, and I mean, let's be honest, like, the ending of Return of the King is like, what, it's like 29 or 35 minutes? It's like fucking ridiculous.
It's at least, like 25 minutes
I'm
long.
telling you this, I am not going to watch it, I think. I'm going to just skip it.
Really?
I don't know. I think I might like the movie. You know what I'll do? I'll watch Tell It, and I'll write down my score, and then I'll watch the end, and then I'll write down and I'll go, here's my score before and after the ending. Yeah. Because the ending is just, it's just like...
It does drag.
It's
super
fucking
hard.
It's you're establishing characters that we know they're already finalized. You do not need to go further. Right. Like, these characters are done. It's like... It's showing me what you think I need to know. I already know it. Yeah. I'm good. Less history, more mystery.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
So there you go. Anyone else got anything else on this before we move on? Because I mean, we came in here, we no notes, just went off memories, and
this has been a good episode.
It's a different episode, but I like it. I like the dynamic.
Yeah. Any last things you want to add, Nikki?
I would say you could look at it like this, that Helm's Deep is a prelude to the Siege of Minas Tirith.
Minas Tirith is so much more of a, like, winning battle, though. You have Gandalf running up, and you have the dude setting himself on fire. It's like, Minas Tirith itself is a dual plot line in one battle. And then you have the chick fighting the ring wraith.
Yeah.
And she's like, no man can, but she's a woman. You have like so many plot lines going on at the same time. The great thing about, I think that I like Helm's Deep better, is because Helm's Deep is just like, nope, battle Helm's Deep.
Yep.
It's
you get what you get.
It's like, this is the battle. Fuck personal storylines. Mm-hmm. We're just concentrating on the battle. The problem with Minas Tirith, I think, is because you're like, oh yeah, we're taking a break from the battle outside to concentrate what's going on in Jerry Seinfeld's apartment. You know? Jerry, guess what? I'm going to pour oil over my head. Don't boil your head, set yourself on fire. I'm going to do it, Jerry. I'm going to do it. But you're Gandalf the White. I got to do it, Jerry. I'm going to do it. Kramer, no. Doom, bam, 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 bam. Last time in Lord of the Rings. Get out. No, you shall not pass. Motherfucker. No shall not soup for you pass.
Oh my god.
That's good. That's great stuff, Gandalf. That's great stuff. All right, shit. I don't think I can out front of me. I think we're going to take a break and we're going to do some After Dark. What do you say? Unless you got any final thoughts on this?
I think it's dark time.
So, next episode, Return of the King. Obviously, we got the holidays coming up and stuff, scheduling. So, I was thinking first Thursday of January?
That sounds dope.
Sounds dope?
Yes.
First Thursday of January. Let's do it. And we'll actually try to get Jeff in here.
Yeah.
And then we'll do, I'll tell you what, let's do a Return of the King, and then we'll do a like whole Lord of the Rings book versus movie thing. We'll say,
wrap it up.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, to have Jeff in here and everything else, because I'm gonna be honest with you, dude. Like, fantasy shit, D&D stuff is my wheelhouse. Lord of the Rings, all the written stuff, all the actual sitting down and reading shit. I'm a math guy, so when it comes to fantasy stuff, it's got to have numbers. But I know Jeff knows a lot about it. His uncle knows a lot about it. I want to try to get actually Larry in here, Radio Free Larry, because Larry fucking used to build models for the LOTR game.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, so he's big into it.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, Nikki, if you want to stay on X for a minute, we're going to take a little break and we'll be back. And we will see you on After Dark. And if you're a free member and you want to join the party, remember, it's only $5. Just go to patreon.com/nightpartypod. Also, by the way, did you know that our first month is free?
Yeah. I think that's an awesome thing.
It's
You're
free.
welcome.
So it's not like you have to buy 10 yogurts to get one free. No, your first month is free. And by the way, we cost way less than a yogurt a month. We
That's
are
true.
$5 fucking dollars. Not $4.99, not $5.99. We are $5 fucking flat dollars. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
And you get all this great radio for free. All right, dude, let's have a smoke and blow a doob, and we'll come back and do some After Dark. And I think I have some stuff to talk to you about.
All right.
I think you'll like it.